Welcome to My Security TV. My name's Chris Cubbage and we're at Security 2011 Exhibition and Conference. I'm joined by Mr. Jason Brown. Jason, thanks for joining us.
Happy to be here, Chris.
And you're here as Chairman of the Australian Council for Security Professionals?
Yep, it's one of my many hats, but it's a really important one at the moment. As Chairman of the Council, I bring together a federation of many of the key security players in the country, plus individuals representing the profession. So it's a great fun. And my day job, of course, I look after security for one of Australia's biggest defence companies, Thales. Right. So it leaves me with little spare time, but plenty of interest.
I've been impressed, regardless, you've been able to keep up with communication with us as well, so we appreciate your time here today.
Well, look, I'm really pleased to help anyway with my security. It's great to see the magazine rebirthed and focusing on the things that are important, and I'm hoping it'll continue to make the sort of contribution I see the first edition making.
I think one of the areas I'd certainly wanted to raise with you is the approach to a national licensing regime.
Yep.
From the Council's perspective, could you maybe update us on that?
There's two issues to licensing. There's the licensing itself, which is a guarantee of bona fide that the person's done the training, and we'd like to see that go forward on a national level to help everybody at what I'd call the vocational level of education. We're also looking at, through a government-funded program, a national registration model for the top end of the profession, the security managers, security leaders who are operating at the enterprise level, at the advisory level. So we're looking at supporting licensing nationally and moving beyond co-regulation that the states have developed, and looking at the sort of standards that New South Wales, Victoria and others are adopting as a base standard to maintain integrity in the provision of services. And we're also looking at national registration for those who see themselves as leaders in the security profession.
That's right, so that's the Security Professionals Registry?
That's exactly right, yeah. And we're very pleased we're getting strong support from the federal government in developing this, and what was absolutely outstanding at this year's Security in Government less than a month ago, we, in one of the sessions, called for volunteers to participate in the first trial. We had 120 applications to participate in the trial out of 200 people. An extraordinary result in terms of people wanting to support the activity. Great outcome.
The Council, I've used the term a coalition model, you've just
That's
used
exactly
the term
right, yep.
federation. Have you found most associations are on board?
Oh, look, they are, and the couple that haven't joined formally have been very supportive. ASIAL has observer status but hasn't got full membership, and that's not because they don't support it, it's because they are looking to see how this develops, and we're building a really strong relationship there. We are quite careful about what associations join up. That you've really got to have as a major role in your association or group security, and security in the definition of the provision of personnel, physical and cyber security type areas, security risk management, those sorts of things. So we have diversity from ASIS International through to the ISACA, the Information Systems Auditing and Certification Association. We have SPOR, we have the VSI. So there's a good group of people, but importantly, we have the tertiary institutions on board who are big players. Edith Cowan University, the National Security College at ANU, Policing Intelligence Counter-Terrorism at Macquarie University, and they send their really senior people like Professor Anderson and others to participate in the council. So it means we're bringing together individual professionals, associations and importantly academia, because they're the ones who will help take professional standards and education forward.
And do you think that's representing the industry in a relatively new light to government?
Well, industry is a critical part of this. What we're saying is that industry, in terms of the service providers and leaders, the people we have here are an important component. Within that group, there's everyone from HR specialists to security professionals who know their trade and business. In government, there's people performing security roles such as agency security advisors. In police, there's people with close personal protection and other high-level intelligence functions. So we're talking security profession of which the industry is interdependent. So we're not an industry body. Your industry bodies like ASIAL sponsoring here are absolutely critical to the future of security and very important. So, for example, as we work through the registry model, if you're a member of an ASIAL, for example, or a personal association like ASIS or ISACA, you would be getting credit to recognition. So that's an important aspect of this. So we're focusing on what makes a professional, and that's the college of peers, the levels of education, the experience, and important, the demonstration of competence as a security professional. And we're working through that now.
And I think with a registry model, and you're classified as a security professional under that registry model, how do you see that working back into the national or a national licensing regime?
if you have a licence already in one of the state regimes, that would get you credits to this registration. The registration is a voluntary concept. It's like the British model of chartered security practitioner.
Yep.
And we're actually looking globally at this. We've had contacts from Canada, Malaysia, Singapore and the United States and Europe to take this model forward as a global model. But what we're saying is that the relationship to licensing is separate. Licensing is about paying a fee to have a formal relationship with a government instrumentality to practice, like an electrician would, etc. We're really looking at something more like the model of the Institute of Chartered Accountants, the Australian engineers, where we're saying you're a member of a group of people who've been recognised by their peers as meeting professional standards. The consequence for that is that if you're wanting to get a security professional, you go to ASIAL or VSI to see if someone's registered in that group as a member of industry. You will go and see if a licence is required for the work they need, but if you want to know that they've been independently reviewed for their standards, you would add the registration model on top of that.
In relation to national licensing for information security or IT security, both IT security consultants and IT security companies aren't or don't form part of the national licensing. Your comment on that?
We are urging a single national licensing regime so that someone, and many security professionals are purchasers of security services, not providers of them, we can go and know that the licence means something. And you know, if I wanted to employ you, for example, as a licensed practitioner, and you have to have your licence in Western Australia because I'm a national company. You know, I have work occurring everywhere. And big companies, the members of the Trusted Information Sharing Network, I believe share this view that we should have a national licensing regime, and there's great support for what I'd call that higher level for the people who provide the security risk management advice, business level activities, the people that run security companies being developed of a higher order. So there's two things happening here, but I'm absolutely 100% behind a national licensing regime for the security providers.
Jason, and some of the positives going on in the industry, both at international and national levels in relation to security standards. Can you tell us what's happening?
Australia is considered one of the lead countries in thinking about security, and our contribution to the global risk management standard is well recognised everywhere. Only just the other day I got a call from Canada, from their federal government, one of their representatives, seeking advice about security standards and future directions, and his comment was, I go to Australia for this advice. So we're heading really in the right direction, but there's plenty of work out there.
Absolutely. Jason, you were described by the Federal Attorney General Robert McClelland earlier this year as the leading light in the security profession for raising industry standards and professionalism. That was at the award night for the National Security Medal in Sydney earlier in this year. I think it was February. Congratulations on that award. I think it's well deserved, and it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks so much, Chris.
Thanks.